like to call the meeting to order, and we're going to review our agenda items for Thursday night's meeting, which is going to be at Central City Elementary School at 5:30. Okay, first thing on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the prior board meeting. Everyone had a chance to look over those and read those. Is there anything that you noticed that was inaccurate? Needs to be discussed. If not, we'll just move on to the agenda. Thursday, now will we have something to add Thursday?
I don't think so.
No? Okay, I thought there was an email about that. Okay. Alright, recognitions, treasurer's report, Eric.
Really, the big significant item this month that we had was the receipt of our TVA check was at 6.8 million above, or it was up about 143,000.
We'll take that.
Yeah,
Any good?
good for a couple of buses.
The other really interesting fact that I thought was really neat was payroll was versus February of last year was a difference of $78.
Wow.
$78.
$78.56.
Is there any questions on the treasurer's report? If not, we'll go down to bills and salaries. Anything exciting on that?
It was 423,000. 196,000 was general fund, and debt service was 185,000. So we've got a lot of payments that have been in the last couple months. So it's been about a little over $700,000 paid out in debt service.
Any questions on the
What's
bills
this
and salaries?
construction, 17,000? 16,995.
The construction was a payment to RBS Design Group.
That's what the payment for?
Okay, if nothing else, we'll go down to the school bills. Have a chance to review those in the minutes from the SPDM meetings. Anybody got anything? Questions on that? Okay, we'll go down to, anything you want to talk about for superintendent report early?
Yeah, I will. I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about the standards. Maybe I can go ahead and do that tonight.
Okay.
Save a little time for Thursday. But first, I think Julie's going to give a little preview about what she's going to talk about Thursday night.
Yeah, we've got two exciting things coming up in the next week or so. Tomorrow, Melanie, John Latham, and I will be going to Murray. Bullying, violence, risky behavior, tip line. And so, just to save some time, I'm giving you a brochure to look over just so you know more about what that is. And then also a copy of what the follow-up form will look like. On Thursday, we hope to give a demonstration and have the button on the website. So that'll all be depending on what we learn tomorrow. And so we'll be able to show you all that. And then just to make sure that everyone has it on their calendars, we have our digital media parent night next Monday. at 6 o'clock at Felix Martin Hall, and we'll talk about that as well. Give Mr. Davis an opportunity to say some words about this experience that our community will have together next Monday.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. I kind of anticipate that being a pretty heavily attended event, from what I'm hearing.
Is it on the Facebook school?
We're hoping for a big turnout. I will go over standard 7, just talk about a few things I'm trying to do to meet that. That's influential leadership, and I think typically that may be one of the leaner ones for superintendents, but this year it's kind of been force-fed with all the pension stuff and the budget stuff. So that's to understand the political system, communicating proposed legislation, applying the laws and the policies, utilizing the legal system, and input on educational issues. So just a few things that I have done. Met with the legislators, our senator and state representative. I've met with them more than once. I've had numerous conference calls with them, constantly kind of emails and contact texting with them about all that's going on. I've met with our MCEA and KEA reps. They were also in some of those meetings where we were all together. We had a press conference about the pension issues. You may remember back in the fall, late fall, several superintendents together had a press conference talking about what was going on with Governor Bevin's pension proposal. Then went with each staff. Eric and I went to each school and met with staff there to go over exactly what that would mean and answer a lot of questions they have. We'll probably be making another one of those rounds before long. Basically, just all that's going on with the pension has really forced my hand on understanding and learning the political system a whole lot better than I did, or really necessarily wanted to a few months ago. So that's still ongoing, still all that's going on in Frankfort. And, I'll talk a little more about that, where we are with pension and budget and all on Thursday night.
A lot of our teachers went today.
Yeah, we had about 20, I think, one went up today.
Julie, is this the same one that Davis County has on their website? Okay, I've seen it on there before, so that's what I was thinking. It looked familiar. Okay. All right, we're down to personnel actions. Ms. Melody, is there any questions for her? If not, we can move on to attendance and enrollment.
Yeah, we have our 6 months, so we had a pretty decent month as far as attendance up from last time. Net enrollment down about a little over 20 from last month. So we'll share those numbers with you. But one thing I know, every school beat last year's attendance month. In other words, whatever it was last year, 6 month, every school beat it. That's pretty good.
Monthly, we didn't beat it today.
We're getting close to that 2,600. We may be below it now. Sounds getting close.
Any questions on the enrollment and attendance?
This where it says 92.44 for district, is that our average daily attendance?
Yes, for that 6 months.
And of course corresponding all the way up for each individual school.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And we're back to within 100th of a point for the year?
Yes.
So flu is gone.
Still working hardly, getting them to
It's also deceiving because what you get into is with enrollment down, you're actually getting, anytime you have higher enrollment, it's easier to get usually it's easier to get your attendance up. And so we're holding about the same, which is good compared to last year's number, although if we were, say, up maybe 1/4 of a point, then we'd probably be because our enrollment's not where it was last year, we'd probably be pretty close to breaking even as far as the funding amount. You're still gonna lose the funding because your enrollment is down. But, or, you know, you still want your enrollment to be up. That's still gonna give you more dollars. But we're holding our own right now as far as that offset, as far as the number.
So with enrollment down a bit, we'd have to have, you know, a higher percentage of attendance to make up for that.
Right, exactly. Which we're not, if we could get up maybe a quarter to half a point above last year overall, then we'd be pretty close to where we were from the seat money. Basically, we sort of figured out with kids, it's $25 a day. It's not quite 25, it's like 24, around 20, but we just say, you know, for each kid that goes to school each day, that's $25 per day. Sort of the number that we use, and that's based on the SEEK allocation.
But we're paid on, our SEEK funding is based on the average daily attendance, correct?
Right.
Is that separate from the enrollment? Because you can say you have 5,000 students.
It sort
but
of
you're-
goes hand in hand together. You're not really,
To blend.
yeah, it's a blend. But it's really how many are there? You know.
The average
Yes.
daily attendance, it's the daily attendance, okay. With the new budget, are they looking at increasing the SEEK?
Correct.
The House
By how much?
budget that did.
A little bit over 4,000.
So per
It's-
student,
it's-
right
it's-
now it's like 3,900
Correct.
something. So what is it projected or proposed?
A little bit over 4,000. I think it was like 4,100 or so around there.
Pretty good little, it was a substantial increase I thought.
About $100
Maybe
a child, I was thinking, close to it.
40, maybe 4111, something like that.
All right, we'll go down to the consider amending the 2017-18 school calendar.
What I'm gonna do is we've got two different scenarios. We think we're gonna be on school tomorrow. Mr. Davis has been contacted him, but I'm still confident we probably are. So, but if we're not, the only scenario would be that we'd make today a work day and then tomorrow a work day. And then we would only have one work day left. So basically, what I'm gonna propose is, obviously, Mr. Davis had that authority to make today work day. We still have to approve it. The kids will be in school Monday, the 21st of May. There will be an election day. That will be the last staff work day. That will be the 22nd. May 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Those will be student instructional days. And then, this is the kicker, Tuesday, the 29th, we'll have to come back for one instructional day for kids. But we still get out the end of May. What I would recommend is we'll do the 30th would be closing day, and then 31st would be the final work day. Okay, so we're still out in May, which is pretty much everybody's goal. If we do another work day tomorrow for some reason with some of the roads, if we do that, it's still not going to change. We'll still, the last day for staff will be the 31st. It'll be a closing day, but the kids will come Tuesday and Wednesday after Memorial Day. Okay, so that's the only kicker right now, unless something else happens, but surely, hopefully this is it. But that's where we stand right now, and we're in pretty good shape. Everybody okay with May. We'd like to have ended it Friday with the kids, but before, but it just didn't work out. So this is where those work days give you some flexibility, and so that certainly Mr. Davis used that very wisely as far as today, and still getting us out at the end of May.
Is there any questions or comments on this calendar change? All right, down to approval of the Muhlenberg South Middle School 17-18 textbook purchase.
Yes, this textbook purchase is very common textbook biennial purchase that they're wanting to make. They're only wanting to purchase textbooks for 6th grade. They need 170 student textbooks. They're going to be using some carryover money from the year before, which they can do. That's fine for them to do. And they're going to combine it with this year's allocation from the state. And that will not quite cover the complete cost, so they're going to contribute $981.59 out of their SBDM allocations to pay for the total cost of the textbook purchase, which is $15,284.91. And I won't have any money left in the textbook funds once they do this purchase.
Any questions? Thank you, Pam. And consider donation to MCHS Project Prom, Mr. Davis.
As I understand, this is something the board's done year after year. I do encourage you to do it again. It's kind of it's a one-time thing. It's a safe environment for the kids after the prom. Hopefully they'll come and stay there. And it's just, it's costly to do all the things they do to make it fun enough to entice kids to come. So this is just a token to help them meet that goal. So my recommendation is that we continue to do that.
We have a lot of community leaders and people, businesses that contribute. I know.
There are a lot of very tired people the next day.
Yeah. I got strep throat after I went to Project Prom on a hay ride because it was so cold. You know, she was there with me. All right. Consider 18-19 student accident insurance.
Thank you, Chairman Rager. This is just a continuation of the same student accident insurance that covers anything beyond what their primary insurance covers. The premium for this policy has actually gone down $220, and it also went down last year, so I think it's gone down about $500 over the last 2 years when you combine the two. But it's a good policy. It also covers kids that do not have insurance at all if they get hurt during school activities.
So if someone does have insurance and they're hurt on school property, what pays first?
Their primary.
Their primary?
Yeah, they submit their primary insurance. Once they get their EOB, their explanation of benefits back, they take the K&K form, turn that into K&K, and they determine like if there's any co-insurance, and they have they benefit limits, but they'll help contribute to their co-insurance. If it's something that's gone straight to deductible, I think it helps out with their deductible as well.
So a family might still have to pay? Or does this pick up the remainder? I mean, that way they don't have to pay anything if a child is hurt on property.
It varies. It varies. There are policy limits. So, but I have not heard of anyone that actually gets to turn it in. That turns it in. I've never heard anyone say you'll come back and say like I had to pay a lot out of pocket. So.
Any other questions? Alright, we'll go down to award-winning bid for uniform services for the Muhlenberg County Board of Education.
For 5 years now, we've had Spirit Services, Spirit Uniform Services. There have been some issues with them that they've attempted to correct, but it's not. We wanted to put it out to bid when the contract was running up. Only 2 uniform services responded. It was Cintas and Spirit Services. At this time, we're recommending Cintas. There are a couple reasons that they're per, some of their overall cost seems to be lower, and we're hoping their service is better. They have a computerized exchange service rather than the paper format that Spirit was on to help try to eliminate some of the costs that I think we're incurring that are just, there's no real good way to track. So,
So will it cost us more?
no, it should cost us less.
Okay.
Right now, this fiscal year, in 2007, fiscal year 17, the overall cost for uniform service was nearly $31,000. This year, year to date, it's $23,000, but if you annualize it, it's about $34,682. Cintas, their estimated cost, based on their bid sheet is about $600, but even if you double that or triple that, it's still significantly less than, if you triple it, it's $21,000 a year, which is still less than what we're.
Very good company. The service is good.
Any questions on that?
Whose uniforms are we cleaning?
Really, it's employee choice, but mainly probably the bus garage is going to be the ones that we're going to turn theirs in mostly because of the grease and oil that they encounter. Some of the maintenance guys like to wash their own, and some of them like to turn it in. So, and that's where, excuse me, if they wash, they have a larger number of uniforms to make sure that they have that. But they've also put us on a nationwide bid contract for Cintas, which is how they keep their prices low.
So maybe share with me about, with Spirit Services, what kind of problems did we incur?
People would turn in uniforms, they'd turn in 3 or 4 uniforms and get 2 back. And so.
Are those uniforms that they provide or that we as a district buy and then we're asking them just to clean?
Those are uniforms that they provide, but you still pay for a per uniform cost. So that's where, we'd say, we turn this in, they'd say, no, you didn't, but they don't have a good way to track. So Cintas is a computerized system. They have a barcode on each uniform. The quality of the uniforms that they're going to provide are better. They're a Carhartt brand on a lot of them for the heavy workwear items. So.
Can I add something on that too? A lot of the uniforms from Spirit, 2 or 3 years ago, they changed like their warehousing in some form or fashion, and it was being cleaned differently. A lot of the uniforms were coming back not home. And we had some issues with that. So there were several issues that we had with things like that, and hopefully these guys will be better for the district.
We're also, the other thing that the contract length, is the Spirit one was a 5-year contract. We're limiting it, well, I think it's 2 years is what, and I've also asked for a termination without cause clause be added into the agreement so that if at any point, and there's a 4-cause termination portion as well. So if we're not pleased with their service, we can terminate the contract. 90-day notice. I think that's pretty much a standard on a lot of contracts.
And it's for how long is this new contract with, or what the recommendation?
The initial term is 2 years, but again, that's where you've got that termination without cause clause and 4-cause as well. So I mean,
We can get out of it.
we can get out of it, which is what we did not have the option on that Spirit uniform services. When I tried to read it and reread it, and when the big portion with the Spirit one was that if we got out early, we'd be paying the remainder of the contract out, which, would save us absolutely nothing.
So then when are we out of the Spirit contract?
March 22nd.
Okay, is there anything else? We'll move down to consider declaring the Ford Ranger surplus at the high school west campus. Mr. Davis.
Mr. Blitzinger.
Sorry, Blitzinger. One says Davis, one says Blitzinger. I always look-
Sorry. Really, this Ford Ranger was one that was donated to us previously, but they've stripped all the parts to where the vehicle's pretty much, it's useless. It's now taking up space. So if we sell it for scrap, we can use it to get more parts for the automotive program. And that's what the funds will be used for.
So it was donated to us without like working order, it was just for the tech center? Is that what you're saying?
No, it was for the automotive classes. You know,
Okay.
it was a learning vehicle.
Any questions? Alrighty. Moving down to consider accepting donation of truck to Muhlenberg County High School, Mr. Blitzinger.
Anytime we have a donation valued over $2,500, it must come before the board for you all to accept it. Ms. Bumps was approached by Old National. It said if the excerpt is down in the decision paper, basically they said, you know, if we have a vehicle that is valued between $27,000 and $30,000, it's used at the discretion of Ms. Bumps. But it also, she also expressed that it would be used for district uses, but they asked if it would be something that we're open to, and absolutely. So.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
Yeah.
Says if Jason, if we could get somebody to donate a bass boat, we'd be doing good. Any questions? If not, we'll go down to approving the BG1 revised regarding the roof replacement at the Muhlenberg County Board of Education Central Office area.
Basically what this is when you all approved the bid, the winning bid on the roof replacement of the BG1, the state makes us go back, revise it, and it's just with updated numbers in there.
Any questions on the BG1 revised? Okay, now down to the board consent agenda items, the leave of absence request, fundraising request, and field trip request. Is there anything on there that needs discussion? If not, then I need a motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Johar. Second by Ms. Wells. All in favor of adjourn, say aye. Aye. All opposed?